In the shadowy mists of medieval battlefields, a midnight black steed charges forth with thunderous grace, its mane flowing like a banner of night, carrying armored knights into the fray. Meanwhile, in the sunlit arenas of imperial courts, a ghostly white phantom leaps through the air like living flame, defying gravity in a ballet of power and precision. These are the Friesian and Lipizzaner, black pearls of raw strength and white fire of refined artistry, breeds that have danced through centuries of war, royalty, and revival. But what hidden threads weave their destinies together? From forgotten forests to famed performances that still dazzle the world. Unveil these captivating tales with me, because by the end, you'll feel the rhythm of their hooves in your heart and understand why these horses aren't just survivors of history, they are its most elegant stars. This is Black Pearls and White Fire, the elegance of the Friesian and Lipizzaner. This isn't a mere breed profile. It's a vivid narrative of survival, splendor, and the human spirit's unyielding bond with horses. We'll delve into their ancient origins, perilous journeys through wars and near extinctions, legendary feats, and their shining roles in the modern world. So, settle into your favorite spot, perhaps with a steaming mug of something warm, and let's trot into the past where black pearls gleam and white fire ignites. To truly appreciate these breeds, we must first journey to the cradle of their creation, the diverse landscapes of Europe where horses evolved from wild nomads to refined companions. Picture the early Middle Ages, around the 13th century, a time of feudal lords, crusades, and emerging nations. Horses weren't just animals, they were engines of empire, symbols of status, and partners in survival. In the northern realms, amid the marshy deltas and fertile plains of Friesland in the Netherlands, a breed was taking shape that would embody the rugged beauty of the land. The Friesian horse, named for this province, traces its roots back to at least 500 BC, when Celtic tribes settled the area, bringing with them sturdy, dark-coated equines akin to ancient Western European forest horses. These early Friesians were versatile workhorses, compact, powerful, with thick manes to ward off the chill winds and feathers on their legs to navigate the boggy terrain. By the 11th century, historical records glow with mentions of Friesian horses. Julius Caesar himself, in his accounts of conquering Gaul, noted the fierce steeds of the Germanic tribes, which likely influenced the breed. But it was during the Crusades that the Friesian truly shone. Knights returning from the Holy Land brought back lighter, more agile Oriental horses, Arabians and Barbs, infusing the stocky native ponies with speed and refinement. Imagine a Friesian destrier, its black coat glistening like polished obsidian under chainmail, charging into battle at places like the Battle of Hastings in 1066 or the sieges of Jerusalem. These horses were prized for their strength. A full-grown Friesian could carry a knight in 150 pounds of armor without faltering, their high-knee action providing a smooth ride over uneven ground. Spanish conquistadors even imported them to the New World, where they mingled with local stock to influence breeds like the Peruvian Paso. Yet the Friesian's path was fraught with peril. By the 16th and 17th centuries, as warfare shifted to gunpowder and lighter cavalry, the breed adapted. Crossed with Andalusian horses from Spain, those elegant grays with arched necks, the Friesian gained a more Baroque silhouette, taller, around 15 to 16 hands, about 60 to 64 inches at the withers, with a muscular build, sloping shoulders for powerful strides, and that signature long, wavy mane and tail that cascades like a waterfall. Their coat, almost always jet black, earning them the nickname Black Pearls for their lustrous sheen, although occasional chestnut variants appeared before strict breeding eliminated them. The trot became their hallmark, a high-stepping, elastic gait that feels like floating, perfect for the carriage work that defined the breed in the golden age of the Dutch Republic. Enter the 18th and 19th centuries. The Friesian transitioned from war horse to noble carriage puller, gracing the streets of Amsterdam and The Hague with their prancing elegance. Wealthy merchants and royalty favored them for harness racing, known as trotting matches, where pairs of Friesians would thunder down roads, their feathers flashing and manes billowing. But industrialization loomed like a storm cloud. Steam engines and tractors replaced horsepower, and by the late 19th century, the breed teetered on extinction. In 1913, only 3 purebred stallions remained in the Netherlands, a heartbreaking low point. Farmers had crossed them with heavier draught breeds, like the Oldenburg, for farm work, diluting the elegance. Salvation came from passionate preservationists. In 1879, the Friesche Paardenstammbok, the world's oldest stud book for the breed, was established in Friesland, meticulously recording pedigrees to maintain purity. A group of dedicated breeders, including farmers from the village of Roerdehuizem, rallied to revive the bloodlines. They focused on restoring the Baroque type, refined heads with expressive eyes, strong necks that arch like a swan's, deep chests for stamina, and those feathered legs that add to their fairy tale allure. By the 1920s, numbers rebounded, and the Friesian found new roles in dressage and driving competitions. World War II brought another threat. Horses were requisitioned for food or labor, but Dutch resistance hid prize stallions in remote barns, smuggling them through Nazi checkpoints under cover of night. One legendary Friesian tale hails from this era: the stallion Ritsky, born in 1929, who sired over 300 offspring and became a cornerstone of modern lines. His descendants dominated courings, rigorous inspections where horses are judged on conformation, movement, and temperament. Imagine the scene: a Friesian under saddle, its black coat rippling like silk, performing a passage that seems to defy gravity, or pulling a CS, a traditional Dutch carriage, with effortless power. Their intelligence shines too. Friesians are known for their gentle, willing nature, bonding deeply with handlers, often described as people-oriented, with a playful curiosity. Fast forward to today, the Friesian thrives globally, with over 60,000 registered worldwide. In North America, Dutch settlers brought them in the 1600s, influencing breeds like the Morgan and Saddlebred. Modern Friesians star in films, like the majestic mounts in The Chronicles of Narnia or Game of Thrones, their dramatic presence stealing scenes. But challenges persist. Genetic bottlenecks from near extinctions lead to issues like dwarfism or hydrocephalus, prompting careful breeding via the KPFS, or Koninklijk het Friesche Paardenstammbok. They excel in FEI dressage, where their collected canter and extended trot wow judges, and in therapeutic riding, their calm demeanor healing hearts. Now, let's pivot to a breed that shares echoes of the Friesian Spanish influences, but burns with a different fire: the Lipizzaner. Transport yourself to the sun-drenched karst plateaus of Slovenia in 1580. Archduke Charles II of Austria, seeking to breed superior horses for the Habsburg court, establishes a stud farm in the village of Lipizza, or Lipizza in Italian. This remote, rocky terrain, dotted with limestone caves and hardy pines, becomes the birthplace of the Lipizzaner, named for the locale. The breed's foundation? A masterful blend: Spanish Andalusians for elegance and strength, Arabian stallions for endurance and refinement, Berber horses from North Africa for hardiness, and local karst ponies for sure-footedness in rugged lands. The Habsburgs, rulers of a vast empire spanning Europe, demanded horses that embodied imperial grandeur. Emperor Maximilian II had already founded the Spanish riding school in Vienna in 1572, naming it for the Spanish stock that formed its core. This wooden arena, later rebuilt in ornate Baroque style by Emperor Charles VI in the 1720s, became the Lipizzaner's stage. Detailed breeding records from 1700 onward trace 6 classical stallion lines: Pluto, Conversano, Mastioso, Favori, Neapolitano, and Siglavi, and 18 mare families, ensuring genetic diversity. Born dark bay, black, or brown, Lipizzaners gray out with age, their coats lightening to that iconic white by 6 to 10 years, symbolizing purity and wisdom. Standing 14.2 to 15.2 hands, they boast compact, muscular builds, broad chests, short backs, refined heads with Roman noses, and expressive eyes that seem to hold ancient secrets. The Lipizzaner's true magic lies in haute école, the high school of classical dressage. Trained at the Spanish riding school, these stallions master airs above the ground. The levada, a controlled rear like a living statue, the courbette, hopping forward on hind legs, and the capriole, a spectacular leap with a mid-air kick, mimicking battlefield maneuvers to unseat attackers. Imagine the school's white arena, chandeliers glittering overhead, riders in bicorn hats and tailcoats guiding their mounts to Vivaldi's strains. This tradition, uninterrupted for over 550 years, preserves Renaissance equestrian art, with stallions like Pluto Theodorosta or Mastioso Austria performing with fiery precision. But glory came with grave dangers. During the Napoleonic Wars in the early 1800s, the herd was evacuated multiple times, driven across mountains in blizzards, with mares foaling amidst chaos. In 1809, as French troops advanced, the horses trekked 300 miles to Hungary, their white coats camouflaged with mud. World War II scattered them further, but the breed's nadir came in World War II. In 1942, as bombs fell, the stallions were moved from Vienna to Hostau in Czechoslovakia. Enter a heroic rescue. American General George S. Patton, a horseman himself, learned of the plight from German captive officers. In Operation Cowboy, U.S. troops and German POWs collaborated to save over 1,200 horses, including 250 Lipizzaners, herding them through enemy lines in a daring midnight dash. Patton's words, "We were so tired of killing. It was a joy to save something beautiful." The mares, hidden in Pieper, Austria, the stud's home since 1920, were reunited post-war, ensuring survival. Lipizzaners aren't just performers, they're versatile. In Slovenia's Lipica stead, founded anew after independence, they compete in driving and jumping, their athleticism shining. Famous individuals like Conversano Primula, a star of the 1960s school, or the mare Favori Ariella, who birthed champions, embodied the breed's prepotency. Temperament-wise, they're intelligent and sensitive, forming deep bonds, but requiring skilled handling to channel their energy. Comparing the two, both owe elegance to Spanish blood. The Friesian's Baroque flair and the Lipizzaner's dressage prowess stem from Andalusian ancestors. Friesians are the black pearls, dramatic, versatile, with a fairy tale aesthetic for films and shows. Lipizzaners are white fire, precise, airborne artists of classical tradition. Together, they represent Europe's equine duality, power and poetry. In the 21st century, both breeds flourish. Friesians number in the tens of thousands, with events like the Friesian World Championship drawing crowds. Lipizzaners, about 3,000 strong, are UNESCO protected. Their School of Vienna must see. Conservation efforts like the Lipizzaner International Federation guard against inbreeding, while Friesian registries promote health testing. Why do these stories endure? The Friesian and Lipizzaner mirror humanity's resilience, rising from near oblivion to inspire awe. From medieval charges to modern arenas, they remind us that elegance isn't born, it's forged in fire and polished like pearls. Thank you for joining this enchanting exploration. If it sparked your imagination, hit like, subscribe to Living Horse for more historical gallops, and comment, Friesian or Lipizzaner?
Which captivates you more and why? Until next time, goodbye.